So, hello everyone. Not sure if you can hear me yet. Give it a minute. Hi, so hello Madeline, Shalom Ruth, hi Linda, hi Anna. Oh, and let me find my glasses rather than I can read the screen properly. Hang on a second. I realize they're still in my bag. Trisha, hi. Sunglasses? No. Reading glasses? Yep. So, hello everybody. Hello Gary, Anna, Annette, and Mary Ellen already said hi. You're going to blow away. So I'm a bit worried that the mic is not working properly then. The wind shield should be working, so I haven't done this for a while. But anyway, I'm going to have to work that out another time. So you all know where I am, don't you? At the mouth of the Amstel River, looking at Central Station. And of course it's really busy today. Hello Carol. Because it is a holiday weekend, because yesterday was Ascension Day. So it's treated as like and that was Thursday yesterday. So yeah, everywhere seems busy, busy, busy. You can hear me? Great, thanks Ruth. And great. Yeah, I haven't been here for a while. I must just say something very cool happened. I was doing a tour within the last week, and somebody walked sort of close to us and looked at me as if they knew me, and I kind of looked at them again, and the guy said, "Oh, I recognize you from your videos." And I was so amazed. And he said, "Thanks for the video." So if you're watching at any point, thanks for the kind words. It's very motivating. Anyway, so what I wanted to know is, what period are these buildings? We know those are 1700s, not least because the data's at the top of them.
Do you think about pushing them in?
There you go. That's actually a bit of detail. And actually one of the funniest buildings along here, the one that, well, not funny, there's nothing funny about the building, but a story about them, it is the one that I always call the Mom building. Of course, it wasn't meant to say mom, but it says mom to me. Is that it was discovered just by chance a year or so ago that this building wasn't actually on the sewage system. It was just still discharging, unbeknown to anyone, into the canal. So how's that for a blast from the past? Now, where's the elephant? There's the elephant. Okay, I was looking for the elephant, but never mind. What we're going to do is just wander around this part of town a bit, and then there's an elephant parade exhibition of decorated elephants just beyond this building, so we're going to go and have a look at those as well. But I know I've shown you this before, but it is one of my favorite buildings, so I want to talk about it again. Oh, and it's really nice with the sun peeking through like that. Check it out. Very nice. No sun. Bit of sun. Maybe we've got no sun. And look at all the interesting things up at the top. We have monkeys. They look like baboons actually, and there are owls, and maybe falcons. I think that's definitely an owl. This building was an insurance building, and the sculpture work was done by Mendes da Costa. Now, he was a Sephardic Jewish Amsterdammer, and created these sculptures in the sort of the feel of, well, you'll see what I mean. It's certainly the feel of, like, to me, the 1920s or somewhere around there. And I love the details of them, and I love what they stand for. So this one here, the woman with the dog, you know, dogs are all about trustworthiness and fidelity. And then over here we have a woman with an hourglass and a chameleon, and this shows obviously the passing of time. The middle one is the strangest one. It looks a bit like Lenin. I don't think it is meant to be Lenin, but I don't think you would ever be able to interpret the meaning of this by just looking at it. It's a scholar, and there's a strange, misshapen person at his feet here. And the strange, misshapen person at his feet is meant to show what happens to us if we try and study without the sort of the protective arms of our peer group around us. We can go on the wrong path and become a weird, misshapen thing. A bit like Gollum of the Lord of the Rings. And the chat's gone very quiet. I'm worried that there's something wrong with the stream. And what have we here? We have a woman with a little pot that she's putting some coins into, so this shows about being careful with money. And then, oh, you are there, all of you. And then what this figure here shows, it's a reference to prayer. And then I particularly like the mother and child. Mother and the child story is unusual because it's not a mother with the child in her arms, sort of with the child looking out up at the mother. It's a much more empowering image of the mother and the child looking out together. Because the mother doesn't have a child to support it. So yeah, beautiful building. Very, very lovely. Okay, let's do a pan around to Central Station again. And I was kind of jumping and dodging between people. You know, I realized it's almost June and I can't believe that the Christmas decorations are not up. Won't be long now. Oh, we get a nice reflection here. Oh, a nice reflection of the buildings with scaffold on. Well, that doesn't really help us much, does it? Whenever I look at scaffold on buildings, I can't help thinking of Aaron and Patrick. Just visited the Baltic cities and saw lots of Dutch-influenced buildings. Yes, Susan, you can have a gold star. Okay, great. So, Lamborghini charging down the Damrak. I couldn't spin you around fast enough, I'm sorry, but yeah. So, I did something very different last weekend. I went camping. It was a surprise birthday, 50th birthday party for a friend of Eric's. So we went to this wonderful beer festival, like a craft beer festival, and that was in the very, how you say, east of the country, near Nijmegen. And it really worked well as a surprise. Everyone was camping, and it rained, and which just goes as part of the course with camping, really. I think it's meant to rain when you go camping. I don't really like camping. And I decided, well, I mean, I've got to go with the spirit and get a tent and everything. So this is how I went camping last weekend with my tent. It was very agreeable. I mean, I don't see what all the fuss about camping is about. It was really lovely hearing the pitter-patter of rain on the top of the yurt. And yeah, you can't fault it really. It's very pleasant. Could have done with more pillows, but it was you have to admit it is a tent. Very rustic, very rustic, with a cooker and a sink and a fridge and refrigerator, and so yeah, I managed to make it through the weekend. So that's my camping for the year. I don't see why it doesn't count as a tent, Trisha. It clearly is a tent. It's made of canvas. Okay. Okay, so this great big building here, the Beurs van Berlage, it's quite a historic building because it was the first really modern building of Amsterdam, an example of rationalism. Berlage was the city architect, very famous, prolific architect, around about 1900s. This is from 1903. And he got so tired of all the neo-styles, you know? Neoclassicism, neo-Gothic, neo-Renaissance, neo-this, neo-that. And he decided rationalism was the way to go. And he built this great big building. A lot of his buildings haven't survived because it wasn't such a popular style, you know, red brick and all that. But it's good that this one survived. We'll be in front there just a moment. He was a radical liberal politically. What that meant, radical liberalism in the late early 1900s was... I'm sorry, glamping does count. Was trade liberalism, so probably conservatism in most countries, but the liberal part was a wedge of socialism to knock off the harder edges of the capitalist system. And the architects, or the customer felt that his architecture matched their political philosophy, and I'll talk about why more in just a bit. You might know this arcade, this wonderful floor, with lots of motifs of bicycles and ships. It's quite a new arcade. Check out this bicycle spoke there. I think it's only glamping when you have an ensuite bathroom. I still had to use shared bathrooms and like a toilet block and bathroom block, so it was really like camping. Look, you can fill your water bottle here. I don't have a water bottle, but you put it in there and then it triggers. Then, whoops, as it falls on the ground. Good for washing your hands as well, actually. Quite nice lampshades and stuff along here. Definitely roughing out Mariella. And then, of course, what this is really famous for is the ceiling. Look, we have an ear. This is called Primordial Soup, this mosaic ceiling. It's by the same artists who did the food market in Rotterdam. I'm assuming that the ear is probably meant to be something about our Vincent, although he cut off his left ear and that's the right ear. Check out the chandelier made of bicycle handlebars. Very funny, Mr. Chef. We do have fish in the canals, about 60 different breeds. We don't have tigers though, not to my knowledge anyway. And we most certainly have bicycles. I'm getting a bit twisted around here. We certainly have bicycles in the canals. As you know, they take out about 15,000 a year. Right. What a lovely blue evening. The ceiling is wonderful, yeah. Super food market. Okay, back to Stock Exchange Square. So we've had 4 stock exchanges in Amsterdam. We had the first real one. I know Ghent and Bruges always claim an earlier one. However, as in 1611 was the first one that traded limited liability shares in the publicly owned company. So to me, that is the first stock exchange in its modern version. And then there was another one on Dam Square. And so those first 2 were on Dam Square. And then this one here was opened in 1903. As I said, it was designed by Berlage. And what he was going for here with the bricks is that bricks are so ubiquitous with Amsterdam. And he said, you know, as a society, as individuals, we were all a brick. And as one brick, you're nothing, you know, it's very inconsequential. But put us all together and look what a great big strong brick, strong edifice we become when you put all of these bricks together. So that's what he was trying to represent here. But if we stand together, we can overcome tyranny. Anyway, here in the front of the building is a decoration. And on the left shows nurturing matriarchal society. So you get these female figures carrying fruit towards the matriarch. On the right is exploitative patriarchal society with these male figures obviously carrying this heavy burden. And then in the middle, the man and the woman are getting married. So it's actually a joining together of those 2 things. And the idea is that they come together and they create something greater than the sum of their parts. And that was what that is about. He collaborated with poets and artists. And I went inside this lovely restaurant here, the Bistro Berlage. I often recommend people come here before or after a tour to have a bite to eat. As you can see, there are tables outside, but it's also really nice inside. And I just popped inside. I didn't take much of a video, but I videoed the artwork inside on the walls. So check this out. The next room is a really big trading hall, ex-trading hall with a glass ceiling. Glass ceiling from 1903. So let's check out our first elephant. It's a really nice one over here. So, I won't get you in shot. Okay. So here's the first one. And there's a little bit of information about them. So, here's the artist, Naren. You can read it yourself. I was fascinated by the ancient Chinese porcelain vases and wanted to recreate the broken pieces patched together, like putting together a new story, new values and feelings through the times. If I remember correctly, the elephants will be here until 29 June, I think I read earlier today. And here's the Bijenkorf, of course, the city's favorite department store. Bijenkorf meaning beehive. Actually, first so you know what you're looking at, this is Studio Chiang Mai. Tropical flowers in bloom and flittering butterflies give magical grace to any setting. I want to transport everyone to this beautiful and calm, happy place. I've never actually been to Chiang Mai, but I did grow up with hibiscus flowers in South Africa. Whenever I go to Thailand, I always kind of get stuck on the beaches because I just love beaches, and there's no beach in Chiang Mai, so I've never quite made it up there. Okay, here we have this. This is an interesting one. Okay, like a zebra elephant. Hello. Hi, excuse me. Can I just take a shot of the elephant, please? I don't want to get him in the shot. Thank you. DJ elephant. Very cool. Oh, and look, the eyes look a bit like discs, like records. Okay, what's this one about? Also, studio zebra beads. Hey, you're almost too funky for me. Bobbing your head to the bass, dancing to the colourful beats. Okay, I like it. Trisha, it's art. Okay. I can't explain art. Okay. And a friend of mine has this thing that if art has to explain itself. Thank you. it's not really worked if it can't explain itself. Okay, so we'll see. Who knows? Okay, I guess we should play a game and try and guess what the theme of each one is. Kind of different, but the beaches were better. Okay. Yeah, I can't imagine. I suppose if I went to Thailand, I could do both, but I couldn't not go to the beaches. Okay. This studio, Chiang Mai, is very good at cool elephants. Elephants should live, love, and play together, free in their natural habitat. Absolutely. On one holiday I went on in South Africa, I went to an elephant sanctuary near Neisner, and it was very cool. You could walk with the elephants. Each elephant had a sort of a minder, and they're kept very much in their natural habitat. Although they do sleep inside in this big sort of indoor area. And what I'm going to do next time I go by there is that you can rent a little apartment with a little kind of sitting area right next to where the elephants sleep. It's not more of a room or two than an apartment. You're the only person there, or whoever's with you, and you just stay up late, and the elephants are in this big enclosure, and apparently it's very, very special. So, oh, this is a nice one. Very nice. Okay, more flowers. Chiang Mai, no doubt. No, something different. Okay, let me just wait for these people to move away. She's dressed very well for the elephant. She's dressed in blue. It was lovely, Mary Ellen, and then the next day we went and I did the highest bridge bungee jump in the world, which was also really cool. So, got the adrenaline going, I tell you. Okay, patchy, indigo. When painting my elephants, I thought about my holidays in Asia and the beautiful fabrics, temples and palaces I've seen. Plenty of inspiration there for painting more elephants. Absolutely. And Art Connects. At least I think it's art. Yes. There's no other letters in front of it. No. Okay. Multiculti. Art connects cultures, a bridge across backgrounds, languages, geography and beliefs. It always fosters powerful connections. There we go. You got that, Ruth. Oh, there's such beautiful elephants here. I love that one down there with the ladybugs. We're going to get to it though. I haven't actually been here before. I've just been past on my scooter. So yeah, it's the first time I'm seeing these properly. Magical creatures. Magical creatures come in all colours and emotions. They wrap themselves around the elephant and help save it. Okay. No, the elephant doesn't have any specific thing to Amsterdam culture. You know, there was the first elephant parade. I think it was from Chicago. Oh, this one was also dressed in like perfect colors for this elephant. Oh, lovely. And you know, it's just a thing all around the world. There's no specific thing about Amsterdam. But, I mean, we all love elephants, I think, you know. Probably from cartoons when we were younger. But also, I mean, they're just so interesting, aren't they? And they're so kind of gentle and clever and smart, and what's not to like? Okay, let's see this one. Lots to read on this one. Oh my goodness. Psychedeliphants, two personalities or different realities. You can do a screenshot of that and then read it later. I'm not going to read all of that. Just gotta have to let the art explain itself. So we've got jigsaw puzzle, we've got rainbow, okay, and then it's black and white on the other side. I see. Very artsy. Okay, this one. Purdy. Penny Lover. Peony Lover has always been an auspicious flower with special meaning for the Chinese, goes to the path. And today, a symbol of abundance and prosperity. Well, that would be nice. The eyes are amazing. They look a bit like almost butterflies. I suppose they are made to look like butterflies. All right. This one's Trisha's. And this one that I like. I want the green one in my house, please. The green elephant with blue eyes and ladybugs. Lucky elephant. Lucky elephant was the winning design of a design competition during Elephant Parade Twente. Elephant Parade is lucky. This lucky elephant will be traveling the world with us. And ooh, look at this lovely elephant here. Hang on, this isn't an elephant. It's a duck. I don't really understand why we have so many duck straws here either. That's something of a mystery to me. Oh, this is a cool one. Look, it's got Alice, a scene from Alice in Wonderland. "'Twas brillig on the slithy toes, stood gyre and gimble in the way. All mimsy were the borough groves, and moan roths outgrabe," or something like that. Absolutely, it identifies as an elephant. I like this one quite a lot as well. Yeah, the eyes are really pretty cool. This one's an interesting one for detail, isn't it? Cat's eyes. Okay. Here we have Mrs. Manhattan. Let's get out the sun. There's no time to waste. Cocktail hour is already underway. Hee hee. Flagging taxis from club to bar, downing one cocktail after another in downtown New York. Eating on the roof, not knowing where you'll wake up. Mrs. Manhattan, mistress of the night. Fair enough. Sounds a bit like Amsterdam in the 90s. I'm not sure how the elephant feels about that. But anyway. Jet lag boy. And it's a very simple one here. We love Moshe Global, Chiang Mai. Moshe is the inspiration behind Elephant Parade. Whenever and wherever there is an elephant parade around the world, Moshe will always be part of it. My mic keeps slipping around. Let me just clip it somewhere else. Oh, there we go. Okay. Moshe, an elephant with his leg in a cast. Obviously, maybe there was a Moshe, a specific Moshe, and that's how it started. I don't know. Didn't have time to look it up. Okay, we got this one. Now you can see the air kind of clearly on this one. Okay. Kids are hugging the elephant. Oh, kids everywhere. I try and avoid kids on the videos. Okay, we'll come back to that in just a moment. Here is the current stock exchange, and we have Baby Bull. Baby Bull, like you got Big Bull in New York, we got Baby Bull here. And people rub the horns for good luck, as you can see, that's why they're shiny, unlike in New York. And no, there's no little girl standing anywhere, no girl statue. Cool angles there. Okay, let's just quickly do these last two elephants here. This one, Angel's elephant. Angel is a non-verbal, kind, fun, interesting and sweet young man from Mexico who has discovered a way of sharing his world through colors, textures and shapes. He loves painting. We are happy and grateful to share his love for elephants and talent. Angel is super proud and glad to join the cause and help these wonderful endangered creatures. And the last one, which is another two-tone one. Let's see, Young. This elephant has been made by young and upcoming Dutch artist Milan the Artist. And then it's kind of transposed the other side, and I'm guessing it's got a yellow ear. Yeah, absolutely. Milan the Artist. Okay. Cool. And here on the current stock exchange, and I actually looked it up this afternoon, but I couldn't find any info about why they have elephants. The consoles underneath the balcony are elephants, but they are. Oh, and there's an elephant on the balcony as well. Talk about the elephants in the room. The one up there looks lovely. Doesn't it look nice? Yeah, I think I like the ones with the ladybugs the best. It's good if we all like different ones the best, then we won't fight over them when they're giving them out free at the end of the... Yeah, like that's going to happen. My mic's cutting out. Okay, I'm going to have to do some testing with the mic. It should be working perfectly, but who knows? If you could hear the wind earlier, that wasn't a good sign, so I'll get onto that during the week. It's starting to feel a little bit summery. Still a little bit of coldness in the air, but I mean, I don't have a jacket on. Love that. So here, you see, this is a place for parking bicycles. I've shown you down here before. So if you go down here, it's a big, underneath the entire square, it's all bicycle parking in 2 layers. But I think, you know, from looking at this sign, it should be fairly clear, you know, that P, parking, bicycle, whereas plane. But that's not clear for everyone. Particularly this chap and who was from Poland, and he was driving a Porsche, and he obviously thought, oh, P, that means Polish. Oh, my mic just dropped. Polish Porsche parking. And he drove his Porsche down here in the rain, and he got to about down there. I have a photograph of it, but I don't have the copyright of it, so I can't show you. But I suspect if you Google it, you may well find it come up. It sounds fine, that's great. Cool, cool, cool. So yeah, this building as well was also meant to give the whole square a bit of an Italian piazza feel, which I think it does quite well. Oh, and I've got a new saying. Let me just put the mic back on again. Hang on, I need to find somewhere like a ledge I can put this gimbal down. You know, I was going to try and do a saying every week. Well, got one. There we go. Okay. So this was a saying that might actually just be the saying of a friend who actually maybe made it up. Because I looked it up online, and it wasn't what we call a vaste uitdrukking. It wasn't a fixed idiom. However, the saying is "Zweven is leven." Zweven is leven. So S-W-E-V-E-N is L-E-V-E-N. So zweven, what does it mean? Well, I got into this whole conversation with ChatGPT about it, because it's actually an old-fashioned Dutch word for dreaming, like more of a sort of a poetic word for dreaming. So what does that mean? Dreaming is living. That's not really how he explained it. And he explained it to me more. He didn't mention the word dream. He said it's like if you're swinging, you know, like swinging on a swing. And, you know, whenever you swing on a swing, if anybody swings on a swing, you can't help but smile. You know, it just takes you back to when you were a kid, whatever. You always end up with a smile on your face, unless you're terrified of swinging, I guess. He said it's also that kind of feeling of maybe being on a roundabout. And I wasn't sure if it was with an S or a Z. It probably is with a Z. Thanks, Natalie. So, yeah, this idea of being on a roundabout, and then my friends ChatGPT and I sort of decided was that, let me just put the gimbal down here. The idea of Zwaven is Leven is it's that sort of swinging on a swing, almost not like in a dreamlike state, but like really enjoying the moment, the absolute present of life, and is really living. So yeah, I kind of, you know, I get the expression. I think it's quite a nice one. So Zwaven is Leven, and thank you for joining. And as you see, I've got one a week put up now for the next 4 weeks. The last one will be in Greece on holiday, and hopefully see you soon. So thank you for joining, and thanks for the donation. That's all coming through. I am going to have a beer in the sun outside my house. Okay, bye everybody. What I'll do is I'll just walk up. Where did I park again? Oh, I parked up there. So I'll just get going in that direction. Oh yes, and if you like this, if you can like it, I always forget that. It's a pleasure, everybody. My pleasure, Ruth. And 750, of course, because this year is Amsterdam's sort of 750th birthday, if you count Amsterdam's birth from the time it was first mentioned in its decree by Count Floris of Holland. Love the light. Thanks for the coffee, Nancy. Yeah, they're all on Fridays for the next few weeks. It's just fell that way, just with in between my other bookings. I wanted to keep it all on the same day each week. I may change the day in July and August. Who knows? What a lovely sky. Great, Linda. I'm glad you liked it.
What's up?
Thank you, Marilyn, for the coffee donation. How's this for a tangle of bikes? Oh my goodness. All of these things here say you're not allowed to park bikes here, by the way. It's for scooters, but the bikes don't care. Look at this poor little scooter surrounded by bikes. Hey, towards Ziens, Natalie. I'm going to end with a view here down what was the mouth of the Amstel River, if I can actually get between these taxis at all. Really bumper to bumper. Goodness me. There we go. How's that for a nice closing shot? Okay. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for joining. Over and out.